Have you ever felt a rush of excitement about winning, about accomplishing something that you thought was detrimental to the next portion of life for you, the next step in your life? Success, we all want success, but we all have situations where we're fearful of what the next person thinks about us. Will it break up a friendship because we're doing better than a friend? That's going to be today's topic. It's the fear of winning. I want to welcome you to Breaking the IT Codes YouTube channel. And this channel is holistically and wholeheartedly about you. It's about me. It's about the conversations that we can have to not only help ourselves break free from all the things that's plagued us throughout our entire life, our career issues, our personal issues, our professional issues. That's what this channel is for. And today's topic is just the start. So the first thing we need to do in order to break the cycle of having a fear of winning and worry about what other people think is understanding fear. What is fear really about? How does fear start? Where does it stem from? It's so many different factors. So defining fear, what does it mean to fear winning? It's not just about the fear of failure, it's also about the anxiety that comes with the fear of winning. Anxiety and that emotion is one of the most important things to control when it comes to life in general. If we can ever conquer that good and evil when it comes to the mind and how the mind allows us to think about things that's not even true, and then it triggers a response internally. That's a big portion of why we fear winning. There's an anxiety internally because as human beings, we want to be accepted. You want your peers to have a great feeling about you. You fit in, things are good between me and this person, that person. But the anxiety is what's holding us down. If we're able to accomplish the goal of conquering our feelings and our emotions as it relates to going to the next step in something, it could be life, it could be, I said it before, a career, a new job, something as simple as setting daily goals to help you accomplish the anxiety that you feel for not accomplishing something all at once. Incremental progress to combat anxiety. It's something that I even had to dig deep and think about. I didn't realize that I have a fear of winning until I just thought back on it. I said to myself, bro, what makes you feel a sense of anxiety when it comes to success or things that you've accomplished? Being around certain people to talk about your successes. And it just all became to come back to me. And I peeled back the layers of onions and said, this is what's making me cry on a regular basis, or this what used to make me cry, this what made me sad. And these were happy points only to be deflated. The fear of winning, that's the definition, that's the starting point. Understanding fear and the fear of winning. So as we define fear more, we talked about psychological issues pertaining to fear. We create false scenarios in our head that cause fear, plain and simple. Real life examples. So I remember being in high school, and it was always my goal and dream to wholeheartedly be a pharmacist. My initial goals was to go to the prominent MUSC down in Charleston, South Carolina. I went to undergrad in South Carolina, and I got into the medical field, but I wasn't initially a pharmacist. Later in life, I ended up getting my pharmacy degree up in Michigan, go blue. But I held myself back from accomplishing it the first time around, and I was a lab assistant. I had a teacher in high school tell me that I wasn't good enough, that I wasn't smart enough to be a pharmacist. I remember like yesterday, I was sitting in a course with one of my dear friends who's no longer with us, Byron Pooh Waiters. And the question came across to him first. And as the question was being asked, I heard his response. And I'm thinking in my head, oh my gosh, what should I say? I want to be a pharmacist, knowing that there may be backlash because of the assumption that I may not be or I shouldn't be. But I said it anyway. This is a mythology class. A little short teacher, loud voice, real red in her face and neck when she talked. It was just never a respect factor. But that's what caused a lot of anxiety throughout my life. It held me back so long until I eventually decided to beat it. I beat it by pressing forward, hard classes, late night studying, but I accomplished it. And once I did that, I was free from the chains that she created that I allowed to cause me anxiety for a really long time. So that's just a real life example. Some may relate, some may not relate. But think about your issues that you're having. What causes you anxiety about moving forward to the next process? A next piece of life, things that you want to accomplish. Societal influences. Okay, so this is a big one. Fear of winning is society driven because society tells you what you should and what you shouldn't do. Well, at least it tells the majority of us. There is no middle class, there's only a poor class and it's only the wealthy. That's it. So you're putting yourself in a box based on what society states or says that you should do when it comes to winning. If you're making money, you're able to pay your bills and you're winning, you're doing great for yourself. That's the good old American dream. You got a house. You're doing good for yourself. But are you reaching back and pulling people back with you? We all have skills. We all have gifts that have been given to us. But are you really helping out? Are you the disciple? These are things that I dealt with myself that I know is going to help you. Like I fought with this for years. I'm finally at a place to where I'm comfortable. I'm good now, but it's my job to help you. Let me reach back and help you. We all have talents. It's not for us. Our talents are given to us to give to others. That's true discipleship. Self-sacrifice for the benefit of others. But society says, go get a good house, go get a nice car, wear expensive clothing, expensive jewelry. It's okay to wear the same thing for 10 years. As long as it looks nice and makes you feel good, it doesn't have to be name brand. There's nothing wrong with name brands. I enjoy name brand myself. I'm just being, I like certain things, but there's still me living within my limits because I've earned the right to get paid. I've earned the right to get paid because every single day I'm learning something new. Every single day I'm teaching something new. Every single day I'm reaching back to all those who are still not there because they've asked for help, and I'm giving them the help based on the talents that have been given to me, the knowledge that I gained over the years, and I'm not holding my fist closed. I have my hand open and reaching back out. But societal issues, yeah, our culture will hold us back. It's not cool to, talk clearly and speak concise. It's not cool to wear collared shirts. You got to have the baggy jeans. You got to have the really big chains. You got to have 28s on your car. It has to be a Benz. It has to be this. It has to be that. That's a society issue that's being portrayed and syndicated through television, social media. That's a fear. You have a false persona of what success really is. And we all have a definition of success. Don't get me wrong. But when it comes to generalization, properly building your portfolios, properly managing the money that you're bringing in, saving, putting up something later for your children, a home, cash, annuities. Society doesn't teach all of us those things. It's only given to a certain amount of people. But it is given to those who reach out for it, who may see the ads come across Facebook and say, you know what, I need to get on this, man. Let me sacrifice a little bit of time and gain this knowledge. That's number two, societal issues and influences that create fear. Culturally, that's another one, cultural fear. This is something I also have dealt with, and I know many of you have dealt with as well. I am from the Bible Belt down in South Carolina, and I think that was probably one of my first experiences with cultural fear that was created and thrown at me full force. I'm very spiritual in terms of my being, but I've taken myself and really looked at religion to make sure that each perspective of religion that I have makes sense and that it aligns with not only me and my life, but what I'm projecting over to other people. An experience, man, I tell you, just going into churches on a daily basis with my family. Family is very spiritual, but the people in churches and how they have judged over the years, it's just taken people's self-esteem and just thrown it down. And it happens every day and continues to happen. That's why things are dying out when it comes to religion, because the generations that are coming past and after us, and even our generation, we don't care to hear the same things over and over. We seek for a different wavelength of understanding and vibes. We want things to be better not only for us mentally, but we don't want to pass it down to our children. We're breaking those curses. But that's one example I can tell you from a cultural standpoint that has plagued me for years, and it still does. Just the acceptance. Here's another great example. Your peers. Man, I had the hardest time in school because I was always judged based on external. Never questioning me on, hey, Kendra, what are your thoughts? To get just a different perspective versus just going with the flow and what everybody else is doing. I grew up in the 90s era. The 90s era. I grew up when skating was cool. I think Bart Simpson was a thing then. I didn't really care about Bart Simpson because I was never a big TV person. But anyway, the point I'm trying to make is our peers kill us from a cultural standpoint. I think African American culture in general is probably one of the most deteriorating cultures when it comes to tearing a person's self-esteem down, creating unnecessary fear that you hold on to 10, 20 years down the road and you're not able to get past it. That's why we need to talk to each other. That's why this platform is here. Throw it in the comments. What experiences have you had? What has somebody said to you that's giving you fear and you can't get past it? Let's find a way and a plan to mitigate that. It's not easy, but it can happen. If I can do it, then I know you can do it. So here's a big one. We talked about professional growth, personal growth. Let's talk about career growth. So for me personally, I'm in the tech space. I see a lot, I hear a lot, and I know that the tech space is biased. And it's biased on many levels. There's not enough African American women in the tech space. There's definitely not enough African American men. It's generalized in terms of the tech space and what you can accomplish, but it's never talked about in terms of the details or who's needed to accomplish these things. Tech is for everybody. There should be representation from all different races, all different cultures. I hate politics with a passion because it separates us. But the tech industry in general, when we talk about fear, the things over the years that I've discussed and the challenges, it's based on competition and stereotypes. There's always a competition to do better than the next person because you want the most money, you want the best job and the best title. Always competition, and there's always stereotypes. There's a stereotypes that the recruiters in the technical space is of the Indian descent. Is it true? I don't know if it's true or not. Do we get a lot of calls and the majority of calls is from that culture? Absolutely. Well, there's another stereotype. Here's one of them. If you see an African American man in the development space, software development space, 9 times out of 10 based on the stereotypes, 9 times out of 10 based on the stereotypes, they went to a program at a HBCU and they were given an apprenticeship to help them get a job. Absolutely not fair and not true at all. But those are some of the stereotypes that create fear for us as African American men, women, for the Indian descent, Puerto Ricans, Egyptians. We have to deal with all of these stereotypes and still work at a high level and exceed at a high level. All we're talking about is the fear of winning and ways to mitigate thinking that way, getting over the hurdles of things that have plagued you over the years so you can excel to the top. That's all we're talking about. In the comments, throw in your comments. Let me know where you've had issues, where you've fallen by the wayside when it comes to your career. Transitioning into an IT and tech career field is absolutely amazing. It's life changing. And if I can just be honest with you, it's one of the best things I've ever done. I've been able to take my medical career, transition into the IT career, and merge them together. Who cares about the stereotypes? Because I decided after I got that first degree, I don't care what anybody say, I'm not stopping. I did it because it was bigger than me. I knew I had kids coming after me. I have 2 boys who are benefiting from the knowledge that I obtained based on all the struggle. And I know very well that they listen every day that I talk because I see them modeling themselves after me. That's already half of the battle won. So now what I'm doing is I'm building up a storehouse for them, teaching them everything I know so that they will go into the industry more than 10 times ready and prepared to succeed and be at the highest level. They can create their own businesses. They can show others how to create their own businesses and build monopolies within, their different groups, their pockets, whatever you want it to be. It is absolutely time to break those stereotypes, and it's time to move forward with the fear of winning. Just a few more things here. I want to talk about a few strategies you can use, strategies that I've used to help overcome the fear of winning. I wrote a few things down here. I want to make sure I hit the points properly. So mindset shifts. You have to set up in your mind another way of thinking. Surround yourself around people that think differently. You can't be the most intelligent person in the room and think that you're achieving something. Mindset shifts. Start seeing success as a collective journey. See it as a collective journey and don't just think of it as accomplishing one thing. If you make it a journey and understand that it's a long-term process, I do believe that you have solitary achievement. What I mean by solitary achievement is every small win is a big win. Everything matters when you're talking about the journey to get to the next level. Another strategy to overcome fear. I think you have to start being realistic with your goals. Set small and achievable goals versus, man, I want to go make $1 million. I want to do it in 6 months. Is that really achievable? Versus saying, all right, I want to make $1 million. I want to give myself 12 months, and this is how I'm going to do it. For the next 5 days, I'm going to break down X, Y, and Z. I want to sell this product. I'm going to sell it for $10. If I sell 500 of these, then that's how we do it. Small and achievable goals that make sense. Don't break off more than what you can chew And that will then start to help you form what you need to, start tearing down some of the barriers of fear, the fear of winning. All right, just a few more points. I hope y'all enjoying this because it's helping me. I hope it's helping you just as much as it's helping me. And then visualizing success. My gosh. Visualizing success is all about mindset and seeing the future. Whenever you're able to see the future because you have small incremental goals, you have something to work towards, you see the end goal, it's more gratifying. It's not, I haven't accomplished this yet. I'm making progress and I do see myself getting closer to that goal. That's one of the most important things that I've done over the last 15 years of my life. I started visualizing what I wanted, what I needed success to be, how I was going to get there. It is not for the faint of heart, but I do believe that every single one of us has what it takes. It's internally given to us to think creatively and outside of the box based on how a higher power has done things. And if I think about it now that I think God created Earth in 6 days. How does that happen? I'm sure theologians may say other things about it in different cultures, but for me and my spirituality, I do believe that. And I think from a homiletical standpoint, if we spiritually start tying things in, there's always an answer whenever you're having these issues and struggles when you're trying to break different chains, when you're trying to think outside the box and find ways to stop fearing being successful. There's nothing wrong with being successful. There's nothing wrong with winning. Stop allowing others in your circle to say that. And so in conclusion, I just want to remind you, the fear of winning is only determined by the mindset that you allow your emotions to take hold of and the anxiety that you allow your body to react to. The fear of winning is a mental struggle because we allow it to be. If you think differently, if you get past all the psychological, if you get past all the societal fear, if we focus more on our professional development, our personal development, and we not allow the cultural expectations and the cultural fear to hold us down, you will win. You'll be successful. I think if you found this video helpful, this is new to me. I just have to have a new platform to freely express myself, and I think this is it. And I want you to be a part of it too. If you found this video helpful, like, share, give comments. If you thought the topic was cool, if it was too in detail, if I didn't give you enough, we can talk more about it. I'll make another video. I'll have a live. This is our channel. Breaking the IT codes is our channel to continue to grow, to get better. And I also want to let you know before I end here, my final thoughts. Don't let fear hold you back. Embrace the opportunities that come your way and beat the standard. Be better than the standard. Always hold yourself to the highest value in life because that's what our higher power does. And that's what he did. And your sacrifice matters. Once again, beating the fear is the only way we're going to work together and get to the highest goal and highest peak.